Today's subject is Don't Love Yourself. When we speak of love as it is related to creation, we don't generally refer to the God self as the object of said love. The love we speak of and speak to is more than likely assigned to an object or person of our desire and admiration. Love for a possession, love for our families or loved ones. Scripture of the Bible speaks that God so loved the world and so loved his creations, but not necessarily loved himself out of necessity to create said love per se. Now, friends, let us listen and apply this message.
Contrary to popular belief, particularly in the law of attraction space, it is touted you attract what you are, which isn't altogether true. Number one, we technically don't attract anything, or anyone for that matter. Number two, we actually create by assumption, and by holding what we want in particular states. States of being, meaning we also hold other people in states of being as well. We choose how they respond to us. There is no measure of success in how well you can maintain or forge your God will upon anything based on how you, a God, perceives itself. Allow me to go further. While the virtue of self-love is valuable and noble, it is not law, nor is it required to manifest what you want. A God sits at its wheel and spins its creations into being regardless to what it feels or sees itself as. Loving thyself, while not at all a bad thing, is not by any means a required thing. So many people want to pour into the well of process and application what they want or what they think creation should be. Their personal values and virtues are subjective, but human godhood is not. I speak from experience. It is categorically untrue that you attract or create tantamount to who you are or where you are in godhood. That is a lie. Throughout my own life, I've dealt with issues of self-image, like most people have, but managed to create miracles out of thin air with my own wonderful human God imagination. I'm not telling you to flat out not love yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't allow law of attraction people to poison the well of creation with their personal dogma and personal virtues. Self-love is a wonderful thing, but does not guarantee that you will create in tandem according to self-love's degreed measure. Self-love has nothing to do with what you create or don't create, period. Love yourself or not, you can and will create regardless. In short, you do not have to love yourself in order to be successful at being God or creating love or abundance all around you. This hokey-ass shit you hear here on YouTube is toxic positivity at its best and plain old bullshit at its worst. You can't love yourself into manifesting or creating anything. Self-love is not a part of the process of being cognizant of human divinity or applying its power. Now, when you are thinking of a specific or general lover, you aren't measuring the depth of their love or worship of you based on how much or how little you love yourself. You're holding them in a state of being that is pleasing to you, and that is indicative to how you want to be loved by them. This has nothing at all to do with how you view or love yourself. You're not imagining falling in love with yourself. You're imagining them falling in love or being in love with you. In this 3D shadow world, having a healthy sense of self-love is definitely ideal, but will not determine how keen your creating love for yourself can or will be. In the wonderful world of imagination, which is your God consciousness, when you observe the object of your desire in first-person perspective, you experience their hopeful, heart-shaped eyes looking at you. The way you feel about or see yourself has nothing to do with how you are experiencing them loving you at all. It's all about the state of being you hold them in. You can completely feel like shit and still create the love you want showered upon you. Creation, in this sense, is not about how you necessarily feel about you, but how you see and experience the subjects you hold in chosen states. The actors of your love story you are directing must adhere to and follow the script you personally penned for them to recite. They are essentially your characters, your puppets to master. The Svengali manipulating scenes and pulling the strings of his orchestration is never subject to his production falling apart based on his personal feelings about self. Your job is to stay focused on holding and maintaining the states of being of all things you metaphorically spin into existence in your wheelhouse of godhood expertise. Work on self in any way you choose. That's up to you. Just know your personal 3D view of the meat suit we refer to as the physical self, and how you feel or don't feel about it calls no shots in what you do or don't create. Now go love yourself, but only because you want to. Not because you fell for the okey-doke bullshit of self-love equaling attracting what you want. Again, that's bullshit. Thank you for all your questions. I try to answer as many as I can. Please keep them coming. This video was inspired by the well-preserved woman here on YouTube. Check out her channel by the same name. I also want to especially thank her for the inspiration of this video. Please keep listening, liking, and subscribing. The growth of the channel in the last couple of weeks has been astounding. Thank you. Until we meet again. Peace